Every single month, a $5,000 invoice lands on the desk of almost every dealership owner.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, sometimes it's 3,000, sometimes it's 10,000 or more, especially once you start bundling things together.
Right, yeah, you add in Google Ads management, Facebook campaigns, SEO, display retargeting, and, that ever vague catch-all term strategy.
Yeah, the air quotes strategy.
Exactly. And it usually just says, like, digital marketing services right at the top. The
Yeah.
agency you hired tells you they're managing your account.
And they send over that monthly report saying impressions are up, clicks are strong,
Yeah.
your cost per lead is improving, everything looks, totally official.
It really does. It's got the local agency's logo slapped right on it.
Which creates this profound sense of security for you. I mean, you write the check and you just assume this full-service marketing operation is grinding away behind the scenes, actively working on your behalf to sell more cars.
But, well, what if I told you the agency whose logo is on that invoice isn't actually doing the work? What if your campaigns are being built, managed, optimized, and maintained by a completely phantom workforce? People you've never met, never approved, and frankly, probably never even heard of.
It's a wild thought, but it is so common.
It really is. So, welcome to today's deep dive. Our mission today is to completely peel back the curtain on exactly where that monthly retainer actually goes.
Yeah, we are unpacking an explosive piece analyzing the automotive white label agency model. It's called The Hidden Truth Behind the White Label Agency Model.
And we're going to decode the reality behind those slick monthly marketing reports you receive. It's honestly like paying top dollar for a completely custom bespoke suit only to discover it's an off-the-rack generic brand that someone just stitched a fancy designer label onto.
That is the perfect analogy, because while the invoice might have a local agency's logo on it, the actual work is likely being done by a phantom workforce in the background. It challenges your fundamental assumption of what you are actually buying every month.
So let's start by defining the setup. The term itself, right? White labeling. I mean, it sounds like a perfectly harmless business arrangement, a clean back-end partnership, a fulfillment solution so an agency can offer more services. And, well, technically, yes, that is what it is.
Technically, yeah.
But in plain English, according to our sources, here's what white labeling actually means for a dealership. Your agency sells you a bundled package, Google Ads, Meta, SEO under its own brand, but another company performs some or all of the actual work in the shadows.
Exactly. You think your agency is running your Google Ads, but another company is actually doing it. You think they built a custom SEO strategy for your specific local market, but a fulfillment provider just copied and pasted it from a template.
Which is wild to think about.
Yeah. And to be fair, the problem here isn't that outsourcing is inherently evil. I mean, outsourcing is just a standard business practice.
Right. Totally normal in most industries.
The core issue is that businesses, especially high-stakes retail operations like car dealerships, are being sold premium expertise, but they're not being told who is actually providing the labor.
And that disconnect becomes glaringly obvious when you look at the math.
Oh, the math is shocking.
Let's look at the actual economics of this model from the text because it really changes the whole perspective. Let's say a dealer pays an agency $2,500 a month specifically for Google Ads management. The agency then takes that account and turns around to outsource the actual daily management to a white label provider. Now, that back-end provider might only charge the agency $400 to $600 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, that means the agency is keeping roughly $1,900 to $2,100 in margin on work they did not directly perform.
Which is just a massive markup.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second because I have to push back here.
Sure, go ahead.
Every business needs profit margins to survive. You buy wholesale, you sell retail. That is just capitalism, right?
Right, of course.
So why is this specific $2,000 markup problematic? If the ads are running, what's the issue?
What's fascinating here is that the issue isn't the profit itself. It's a total lack of transparency and value. Let's look at what the dealer actually thinks they are buying for that premium markup.
Okay, lay it out.
When a dealership hires an agency, they fundamentally believe they are buying strategy. They believe a dedicated professional is studying their specific store.
Like dealership-specific intelligence.
Exactly. They think someone is looking at their aged inventory, analyzing their local competitors, understanding their sales process, and making custom market adjustments.
Right. They want someone solving local problems. Like, hey, we need more truck leads this month, or we need cleaner finance leads.
Yes. But in a white label model, The agency is not actually buying strategy from that back-end provider. The agency is just buying fulfillment.
Ah,
They are buying task completion, campaign setup, automated keyword build, standard reporting. So the dealer is paying for a strategic expert, but they're actually getting a branded middleman.
wow. So if the agency is buying this back-end fulfillment for pennies on the dollar, how does that white label provider actually make any money charging only 400 bucks?
Well, scale. It relies entirely on massive, uninterrupted scale. To make a profit at $400 an account, that back-end provider has to manage hundreds, if not thousands, of dealerships simultaneously.
And if you are managing 1,000 accounts, you cannot possibly build every single dealership's campaign from scratch.
Not a chance.
You have to rely on efficiency. And efficiency in this world means templates, repeatable campaigns, repeatable keywords.
Which is a huge problem,
Mm.
because you simply cannot flatten the nuance of automotive retail into a generic template.
Right, the source actually breaks down this exact complexity. A Chevy store in downtown Houston does not have the same inventory problems as a Ford store in Phoenix.
Absolutely not.
Selling a glut of aged, used SUVs is entirely different from just chasing new truck volume to hit a manufacturer bonus.
And yet, because of the economic demands of the white label provider, you're getting the exact same campaign skeleton as a dealership 3 states away.
It's like a doctor prescribing the exact same heavy blood pressure medication to 1,000 different patients without ever looking at their individual charts.
That is a perfect way to put it.
Like, sure, it's medication, but they haven't even diagnosed you.
Exactly. And this brings us to why this flattening of nuance is so dangerous. It's about the invisible campaign manager.
The person actually pushing the buttons.
Right, the person sitting at a desk thousands of miles away. Now, they might be incredibly technically skilled. They might be absolute wizards at Google Ads or Meta.
But they don't know the store.
They don't know the store at all. They have never seen the dealership's lot. They have never watched a desk deal get structured. They've never even spoken to the BDC, the Business Development Center, about what happens when they call these leads.
They just see numbers on a screen.
Exactly. They know how to manage web traffic, but they do not know how to create an actual car buyer.
So we have this massive physical and operational distance between the campaign manager and the actual dealership lot.
And that distance leads to the most dangerous element of the white label model, a total collapse of accountability.
The broken accountability chain. The source text actually maps this out, and it's wild when you look at it.
Walk us through it.
So first, you have the dealer. Their motivation is simple. They care about gross profit and selling cars.
Right.
Next is the agency's account manager. Their motivation is just keeping the client happy to keep that monthly retainer.
Yep.
Then you go back to the white label provider. They just care about fulfillment metrics, hitting the terms of their contract.
And finally, the campaign manager pushing the buttons. They just care about hitting their daily workload targets.
The core problem here screams at you. Nobody in that entire lengthy chain actually loses money if the close rate drops.
Nobody. Nobody is directly responsible for a funded car deal. They're all just executing disconnected tasks.
Which brings up the monthly report. This is the smokescreen, right? Every month, the dealer gets this beautifully formatted report. Impressions are up, clicks are strong, and the cost per lead is down.
Oh, the famous cost per lead drop.
Right. But wait, if the report is mathematically accurate, if the campaign really did generate more clicks and the cost per lead genuinely dropped, shouldn't the dealer be thrilled? The platform is literally doing what it was told to do.
This raises an important question, right? The danger of vanity metrics. Because accuracy does not equal usefulness.
How so?
Well, a campaign can absolutely lower your cost per lead, mathematically speaking, but completely destroy your sales floor in the process.
Destroy it.
By flooding them with garbage. The algorithm just wants cheap form fills, so it pushes ads to people who maybe can't get credit approval or who don't have viable trade-ins.
You see.
You get massive volume, your cost per lead looks amazing on the report, but you get 0 retail sales. These vanity metrics are basically a shield for the agency to avoid answering for actual sales outcomes.
Wow. And that flood of bad leads, it connects to this hidden financial toll that the source brilliantly calls the second invoice.
I love that term, the second invoice.
Me too. Let's detail that internal collateral damage because it's brutal.
It really is.
You've got BDC agents wasting hours of payroll, chasing people with absolutely no intent to buy. You've got the finance department getting pulled into dead deals that can't get bought by a bank.
And the ultimate cost, which is just catastrophic,
Yeah.
is the sales team losing total trust in the CRM.
Right. If a salesperson gets burned over and over again by terrible leads, they just start ignoring the system. So when a good lead finally comes in, it's ignored because the source has been poisoned.
It's a devastating cycle.
Ye-
You pay the agency $5,000, and then you pay even more internally through lost morale and wasted time.
So how do we fix it? Here's where it gets really interesting. The source actually offers a solution to rebuild the model.
And it requires a complete shift in perspective.
Flipping the funnel. Instead of building from the campaign forward, asking what platform, what budget, what audience dealerships must build from the deal backward.
Exactly. Start with the buyer. You have to align the marketing with the harsh realities of the dealership lot.
Right.
Ask yourself, what monthly payment range is actually realistic for our inventory right now? What specific trade-in situations help the store?
Because a real marketing partner understands that the important stuff happens after the lead hits the CRM.
Absolutely. They don't hide behind a vanity metric report. They care about sold units. So for you listening, you need to take these insights into your next vendor meeting. Ask your agency some really hard questions.
Like what? What should they ask?
Look them in the eye and ask,
Yeah.
who is actually inside my ad account? Are you white labeling this? And better yet, can I meet the person actually building my campaigns?
That's a great test.
It really is.
Yeah.
And if the agency gets defensive or starts talking in circles about proprietary processes, you have your answer. A healthy business relationship welcomes hard questions.
That is so true. We have covered a massive amount of ground today. We started with that expensive piece of paper, the monthly invoice, and really proved that distance kills accountability.
It really does. You can't outsource accountability.
You just can't. So you now have the tools to look at your monthly digital marketing report, not just as a receipt of activity, but to question whether you are paying for custom automotive strategy or just funding a long chain of margins.
Take back control of that conversation.
Definitely. I want to leave you with one final lingering question to mull over. Just think about this regarding your own store.
Let's hear it.
If your white label marketing agency completely vanished tomorrow, would your sales floor actually notice a drop in sold cars? Or would they just be relieved that the noisy, low-quality leads finally stopped?
That is the million-dollar question.
It really is. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We will catch you next time.